Hey everybody, Jody here. I'm here with the beautiful Sandra and the beautiful Sabrina. And what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about AOLs. With Avon, we do a lot of acronyms. We love our acronyms here at Avon. And so what an AOL is, and I'm sure you've heard this term many, many times, but I've probably gone, I have no idea what that is. And what it is it's an Avon on location. So I'm going to go through what that is and talk about different levels of AOLs so that it's helpful for you, so that you understand how to get one, why it's important to you, and we're going to talk about different things like that. I do have Sandra here with us. Sandra is one of the top leaders in our division. So we're going to pick her brain as well, and we're going to blow her mind on a couple other pieces too. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to teach you something today as well.
Good.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen, but you guys will still be able to see me. Okay. So, hang on, let me share the right screen. It's the PowerPoint I want to show you first. Can you guys see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to talk about right now is, oh good, Dega's here.
Oh, good. Okay.
Dega is also going to be joining us. Dega is also one of the top leaders in the division. And again, the same thing. I'm going to ask her for some input, but I'm also going to look at different mindset as well for everybody involved in this. Okay. So the agenda today, what I want you to learn by the end of this presentation, excuse me, is what is an AOL? What are the benefits of an AOL to you and why you would want them? I'm going to help you with some words to help you secure one, different places that you can ask for them, and a checklist of what you're even supposed to take and how to present yourself at an AOL. Okay? So that's what we're going to cover off today. So, what is an AOL? Well, if you check with your beautiful Ultimate Success Guide, in the share section of it, there is a whole piece about 8 ways to generate leads. This is one of those ways that you can generate a lead, okay? It is essentially anywhere at all that you can set up either a table or you can have an area where you have the sole focus of Avon. So you're able to engage with the public and talk about Avon and talk about with various customers or in a public place, things like that. It's essentially, you want to be at a place where you can talk about Avon, okay? Successful leaders do a lot of AOLs, and why they do that is because it's really a great way to build your team. One of the things that I want to talk about is your time investment into your business, okay? And I always want you guys to look at the time that I'm spending here in this location. Am I getting a good return for my time investment? Does that make sense? Because Sandra, how many times have you been to an AOL where you've stood there for 5 hours and literally gotten nothing out of it?
Many times.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is one of the things that I want to help you guys with, because that's not a good time investment. You're not getting the return that you need out of it. Okay, that makes sense, right? So AOLs can be anything, like I said. So local events, job fairs, craft shows, ice rinks, any kind of a public venue. Okay, and this is where you can talk to people about the potential. Now, why do you need one? Okay, you need to grow your business. How are you going to grow your business? Well, there's 2 sides to the business, right? Well, there's actually 3. There's 3 products we sell here at Avon. There is the products itself that we sell to customers. There's the opportunity of a representative that we sell to the public. And then there's also the leadership opportunity that we sell to representatives. Makes sense, right? So what you want to do is you want to grow your business in those areas. And I'm just going to move my mouse here for a sec because I want to cover each of these differently. Coverage and your productivity. When you grow your business through coverage and productivity, I'm going to give you a definition of what that is. Your coverage is your potential to reach customers. I want you to think of it as a blanket. When you step outside your door from your home and you look at your neighbors and you look at all your friends and everybody in your neighborhood, can you say when you're standing at the front door that you have good coverage of your neighborhood of customers? Did that make sense? So I want you to think of it as a blanket. The more people you have under your blanket, the better coverage you're going to have. That's one way to increase your sales. The other way is productivity. So you have this great coverage, but the productivity, are they placing orders? Okay. Now, if you're finding you have little coverage and low productivity, that filters into, why do you have that? Well, it's going to come down to your leads and conversion, right? If you're not getting enough leads and you're not converting enough of those, you're not going to get coverage and you're not going to get productivity. That's the flow of the business. Okay. And then the piece here, the activities and man hours. This is where I want you guys to think about this. And this is where the Avon on location is important, because you can go to an AOL for 3 hours. And in 3 hours, Sandra, how many leads can you get in 3 hours that you would convert to a representative?
Depending on where you are.
Yep.
Because I've done, like, I'm doing one, for example, May 26th at the Woodbine Center.
Yes, you are.
Yes, and I'm very excited about that one. They're saying that they're expecting like over 400 people. So yep. I'm hoping to get a good 10 leads out of it, at least.
Okay. Yeah. So if you had 3 hours there, okay, you could get 10 leads out of that.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, if you had 3 hours there and you took a team member, right, mm-hmm. you're increasing your man hours, because exactly. You're the sole engine of your business. You are the train that's chugging along. And you don't want to do that, because that's a hard work. Okay. So think about it. If you took one team member to the AOL to Woodbine, okay, and if you can get 10 leads in 3 hours, you're going to teach her how to get 10 leads in 3 hours. So now your team is going to walk away with 20 potential leads instead of just the 10.
And can I stop first?
Absolutely.
First? I am bringing one of my team members, and one of our goals is to pop her to unit with these few events that we have going. And you can do that, because I've done it before. I've popped units by helping them get to these events with me and training them what to say and what to do and all that stuff.
Absolutely. And it all comes down to, okay, I can spend 5 hours in a week going out, talking to people, right, every day if I wanted to, or what's a better time investment to get a better return is let's stand in a location for 3 hours and get 10 leads.
Exactly.
It makes business sense.
It does.
Okay. So that's what an AOL is. Okay. So what are the benefits to it? That's something that we were just talking about now. So we're looking at benefits are brand awareness, right? If somebody passes by your table, decides they don't want to talk to you, but they see the Avon name and brand, it's going to plant a seed for them to think about it later on, right? These are people who did not wake up thinking about Avon today. So the more brand awareness and brand ambassadors we can be, the better your business is going to be. The recruiting opportunities, just like you said, you have better luck popping a unit when you do events such as these, right? It's a conversation starter. You can, when you go out, especially us as women and entrepreneurs, sometimes we find it hard. I'm the same way. If I went out with you, Sandra, or you, Daga, right, I could prospect with the best of them. I could be a rock star. But when I actually had to go out to recruit for myself, it was different and it was harder. And that's because as women, to promote ourselves, and the self-promotion is a mindset shift that we have to go through. So an AOL is a great way to do that, because it's something you can sell, right? You can have a conversation about it. So like leading up to your May 26th event, Sandra, this is an opportunity for you to promote the crap out of it, right? And you can say, hey guys, come to Woodbine. It's going to be a really fun thing. It's going to be an outdoor fair, right?
That's right.
It's an outdoor fair. Bring your kids. And by the way, Avon's going to be there. So why don't you stop by the table? I'll have free samples. Mm-hmm. Right? And then you can say, you know what? I know that life gets really busy. And leading up to the 26th, it's still a month away. Is it cool if I get your contact information? I'll just send you a quick reminder about it like a week before. Mm-hmm. Right? That you can sell, because the subconscious is going, oh, I'm doing this for Woodbine.
Exactly.
It totally is. And it's a conversation starter, and that's what this business is about, right? Okay, it's also good community spirit. It's really good to get the community excited, get people excited, especially right now. What's a good community thing? The examples I have here is the sunscreen and the breast cancer, but what's coming up right now in Campaign 11? The bug guard. Yeah. Right? So that's a really great way to do that. And again, why do you want one? You want one because it's a time investment that you can earn a return on. Mm-hmm. So Dag and I actually she was looking at an AOL, and she wanted to know my opinion on it. And we actually broke down, right down to okay, if you sign X amount of people and it cost you this much minus your profit, X and X and X, how much are you making month or hourly for the amount of time you're going to be there? And when we actually figured that out, I was kind of surprised too. I was like, wow, you'll make this per hour. That's decent. Yeah. And so she was able to know, okay, if I'm going to be here for this time and I'm giving you my life, I need to do this to make back that investment. And that's what you want to do with your business. Okay. Okay. It's a place for you to collect the leads. Okay. And you will grow your business, customers and team. Because if they don't become part of your team, worst case scenario, they're going to become a customer, and that's going to increase your sales. All of these things are going to equal more sales, which equals more money. And that, at the end of the day, no matter what your why is, we're in the business to make money.
That's right.
Okay. And like I said before, it increases your man hours, right? Mm-hmm. Might as well do it with more than one person.
Exactly.
Okay. Because then you're doing training at the same time, right? It's kind of like, I don't want to say killing two birds with one stone, because that's a terrible saying, but that's essentially what it is. Okay. So now that you've kind of know what it is, you know why you want one, you know the benefits to do it. Okay, now what? Where do I go? So, and I was thinking about this. Really, where you can go for AOLs is anywhere there's a business. Okay, it really is that. The main question that you're going to be thinking about for places to ask for an AOL is there a cost associated to it? Okay, but where you can go is online versions. So you can do, Eventbrite has them, Facebook, Kijiji, all the churches are having spring sales coming up right now, different schools, okay? Those are existing ones. Then you can talk to friends and family. One of my friends from my daughter's soccer team is what I'm trying to say, where she works is a corporate office, but they actually have vendors come in once a month. And all the employees, and it's usually done in the cafeteria, and all the employees come down to the cafeteria, they shop for it, and then they go away, and then some do it once a week, some do it once a month, some do it only at Christmas. But the point is that there are corporate offices that do this. I've done one personally that I've been to, and then I just found out about this one from one of the soccer moms. So it's just a matter of, looking at who are the big brand name corporations within your areas and calling them and just saying, hey, do you ever do any vendor specials? Do you ever have any vendors coming into your cafeteria? Because this happens more than you think. Any establishment with a sidewalk and an entrance. So places like strip plazas, okay? And I'm going to talk about what's in it for them at some point. But anywhere like strip plazas, sidewalk sales, things like that. And the reason, hey, Charlene, you look beautiful. Anywhere there's a sidewalk is because one of the things that you can sell to the establishment is, hey, let me set up a table on your sidewalk out of your front entrance. I'm going to have this giant Avon banner, and I'm going to have balloons, and I'm going to have, draw attention to your front entrance to get the public coming in. So that's one way you can do it. Bakeries. I know a lot of different bakeries in the area. They've been wanting to do those. Parks and Rec. Are you guys aware, so especially in Etobicoke, any of our Parks and Rec places usually have, what do you even call it? Like it's like the patio with the overhang on it, and you can have a picnic there. A lot of people do it for birthday parties or family reunions, stuff like that, okay? you can actually rent it for an hour for $100. So you can actually do it where you rent it. And again, it's something that you can sell to them. It's something you can talk to, and it's a conversation starter. Hey, I'm going to be at Westine Park from 1 to 2. Come out and talk to me. I'm going to have free samples. You can do makeup demonstrations, whatever the case may be. But that's an option for you guys. Grocery stores. One of the things that I like, and Mandy, actually one of my sister managers, found this out, and I loved the idea, is ladies' nights. So any establishment that has ladies' nights, for example, Milestones, every single Monday they have ladies' night. So why not approach the manager at Milestones and say, hey, I know you're doing ladies' night. We're a company for women. Can I come set up a table? I'll do free samples. I think she's doing a makeup artist, stuff like that. It's a fun thing. And then the entrepreneur events. Some companies in the area, I know Staples, for example, because I know Dega and Saba and them have done this quite a bit, but Staples has an entrepreneur night or an entrepreneur month, or they do an entrepreneur day where you can go and set up a table at their place, and that's an option too. So the whole point of this is that there are so many places to check. And the thing is, you don't know unless you ask. And that's the thing. If you ask 10 people and 2 say yes, that's amazing. You've got 2 places where you can go and really have a good time investment for your area. Make sense?
Yeah, and if they say no, ask them if you can leave a ballot box.
Ooh, brilliant. That's a great idea. Yeah. So that's good. Okay. So when you're thinking about words to help you secure an AOL, these are the things you need to think about. Okay. And then I'm going to show you what we did for the Purple Peace Movement. You first and foremost need to think about what's in it for them. You need to say to yourself, what do I have that's attractive that they're going to want me to be there? Okay, you can't just walk into a place and go, hey, I'm from Avon, I want a table. They're gonna go, great, what can you give me? Okay, so always ask for that. One of the things that I've worked in the past are places that have their own charities. So for example, Canadian Tire has the Jumpstart program. So if you go in and you talk to the manager and you say, hey, I know that you guys have the Jumpstart program. What I'd like to do is I need an audience that I can give flyers out to. I would like to come in, get a table where I can hand out my Avon literature, and at the same time, we can do some collections for the Jumpstart programs. What do you need from me? Use my man hours here. Okay, Walmart has the breakfast, the morning breakfast thing. So different things like that, you can always check out, okay? And then you have to figure out, okay, you need to think about what's in it for me. What do you get out of it? What do you want to get out of it? The main thing that people want to get out of any kind of AOL that everybody's trying to build is the leads, and they're trying to build their database. So when you do it, the ballots in a way, and you can partner with an establishment and say, I want something to be mutually beneficial for us. So what I'm proposing is I come in for 2 hours, I will set up a table, I will do a draw for your customers, and I will collect the ballots. And then on those ballots, thanks to Dega, Dega sent me a template of ballots that we've used in the past, and I've altered them a little bit so that the ballot would say, and be CASEL compliant, that it's okay for them to contact, like say No Frills, it's okay for No Frills to contact the customer, and it's okay for Avon to contact the customer. So it actually asks for permission for both. But then at the same time, it's going to say, you know, do you want to learn about the opportunity? Do you want to have Avon books? Do you want to join my Facebook group? Right? So these are things that you want to look at. You need to find what is the mutual partnership that you can have between the two parties, right? It's a sales game. If you can figure out what they want and you can provide what they want or need, you got a table, right? Does that make sense? Let me see if I can find the ballot. Hang on bear with me for 1 second, because I
I
do
totally just wanted to run in. I have to, my kids will be in the car in about 5 minutes. So if you
No
need
worries
to
there.
ask me anything, it needs to be done within the next 5 minutes.
Okay. This is what we do. Let me just see here if this is the ballots that, okay. Can you guys see this? Do you guys see this, right? Okay.
Very, very small. So can
Yeah,
you zoom in?
I'm gonna pump it up here. So this is an example, because again, let the ballot do the talking for you. One of the things that we do a lot of the times is when somebody says they want to fill out a ballot, we give them the ballot, we let them fill it out, and we send them on their way, and we take the ballot, and then we look at it and we go, they didn't fill out the email, they didn't fill out the phone number, I can't read their name, right? How many times have you gotten a ballot where you have no idea what you just got? So when you're doing a ballot like this, you want to fill it out with them, because you're essentially leading the conversation to your end result. What is your end result? You want them to say they'll think about Avon as an opportunity. Okay? So something like this. It says right here, you know, do you get Avon brochures already? Do you want to hear more information about earning with Avon? And because I partnered with Fantasy Fair, do you want more information about Fantasy Fair? And then the Castle Compliant is the 2 pieces here. Boom, done, right? It's so uncomplicated. It doesn't have to be crazy. Okay, is everyone following so far? Does anyone have any questions? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you, we're gonna go off this for 1 sec, and I'm gonna show you the purple peace movement. So what we did with this, and again, guys, I have no ego attached to anything that you see. If you see something that you want, email me and ask me for the template. If you want to take it and change it, rock on, okay? It's the concept that I want you to understand and utilize. What you want to do from there, totally up to you, okay? So what we did with the purple peace movement was, this was something that we created that gave us something to sell. When we were walking into establishments, we wanted something to say, you want us here with a table because of X. And this is what we used. And this is, okay, so I'm just gonna go through it. So we talked about, we were speaking out against domestic violence. So that was attractive because that's a foundation that not a lot of people talk about. So it was something new and different. Okay, we were talking about assembling the gifts of beauty to give to local women's shelters. Goes back to remember the slide that said about the communities. It's a feel-good movement. And then I laid it all out. Hey, in 2 hours, this is what I would like to do. And I listed, here are my expectations. This is what I want. But then you see how we dug deeper, and I actually gave them benefits. I said, you want me here because I'm going to provide your company with this. Okay, and then I'm excited about the movement. You attach a feeling to it. I'm excited about this. I hope you're excited. I'm really looking for a great partnership here. And what I essentially did was I looked up different establishments. I copied and pasted this, and I blasted it out to a ton of different emails. And I saw who bit. And that's how it all began. But do you guys see the point? Like, do you see where I'm hitting all the questions? I'm not just saying, hey, I want a table here and I'll share the database with you. I'm actually digging deeper to go, what's in it for me? And I'm being upfront and honest. This is what I want. I want the database. And I'm saying, you want me here because of X, Y, and Z. Good?
Sounds good.
Okay. And if you guys want this, just ask me for it. Okay. That's how you secure it with the words. So, what do you need to take with you? I am a firm believer in less is more. I have been to so many different job fairs or all kinds of stuff where there's other vendors and they put so much stuff on their table, it becomes very overwhelming for the end user, okay? So I would say, you know, the table. Is one supplied for you is what you'd have to ask, or do you need one? If you need one, there's $25 tables that you can buy at Costco. They're really good there. Tablecloth. Do you have one? Again, to the establishment. Is one there for me, or do I have to provide one? We always like to provide ours because they say Avon on it. But if you don't have one, there are things we can do. Your promotional banners to put on the tabletops, okay? Books, always take books. Samples, the ballots that we just talked about. Pens, I forget that every time. And then I'm stuck, or I have like 2 pens that have ink in it or whatever. Your draw box. You know what I didn't add on here though is a kitty. People forget that too, especially if you're selling something. Have about $100 worth of change, because you're gonna need the kitty part, okay? And then, are you selling or recruiting? Because if you're selling or recruiting, you're going to have different literature on there as well, okay? You want especially if there's other vendors going to be there, you want a kid's wow factor, because everyone is going to be walking around the room, okay? And everyone's going to be throwing up on each other going, buy my product, join my team, okay? But if you have something that's going to attract children to your table, your kids are going to drag the parents over there, okay? And so things like candy, I used to get, especially around Easter time, I always got the Easter eggs, right? And then when you popped the Easter egg open, I usually had like a 5% off your first order, or I had chocolates in there or whatever. But it was something the kids could open and go, oh, what's all over there? I want all those. We also have the spinny wheel. I like the spinny wheel. There's a bunch of people in the district that have those as well. And always have a notebook, because the entire purpose of an AOL is to collect those leads. Okay? Okay. So, how to present yourself. I've gone back and forth on, do I look professional or do I want to be relatable? And I stuck with I want to be more relatable for the longest time, and now I've kind of switched over to I want to look very business-like and professional. So you want to look professional. You want to have makeup on, right? Even if you don't typically wear makeup, you're going to want to wear makeup that day, because we are a company of beauty, of empowerment. And let's be honest, if you put lipstick on that day, you're going to feel better anyway. It's just one of those things that help give us confidence. You guys know, usually if I need an extra boost, I wear red lipstick, because it's my power. It's my go-to. And you want to smell good, because there's nothing worse than talking to someone with nasty coffee breath. Especially if you've just had your Timmies there and now you're talking up close to someone and you know that your breath is nasty, you want to make sure that you smell good. Body language. Never stand behind the table. That's one of the #1 thing that people do incorrectly at an event. If you sit behind a table, if you're behind a table, you're saying that you're unapproachable. If you sit down at a table, you've lost your level of authority. It's a subconscious thing. If somebody's standing in front of you and you have to look up, it's a level of authority. You've lost all credibility. Don't be on your phone. There's nothing worse than walking by a table and everybody's on their phone. Are you going to stop at a table where everybody's on your phone? You're not. And if you do have to take a call, which is absolutely fine, just leave the table. Okay? Smile. Ask if they're enjoying the show, or say hello. So when there's a lot of times that people will be walking by your table and they'll be leaving your table. And if you say to them, hey, how's your day going? Or, hey, are you enjoying the show? It will be rude for them not to stop and come back and talk to you. It's just a human thing that they do. But you want to be courteous to other vendors. So if you have another vendor beside you and you've lost that opportunity where she's passed you and now she's about to engage with the other vendor, don't bring her back, because that's rude. Okay? And try not to eat at the table. Now, I know this sometimes is incredibly difficult. I've been to a lot of events where it's so busy and you're the only person at the table and you can't possibly leave, but you need to eat. Especially at a show where somebody is serving lunch, then yeah, and just try not to eat at the table if you can. If it's unavoidable, you gotta eat, so eat, okay? So that's what that is. And lastly, okay, so now what? Now where do you start? So I'm gonna recommend that you guys make a list of, oh, I saw Callum. Make a list of everybody or anybody that you think of that you're going to approach, okay? And then I want to know, when are you going to approach them, and what do you need to prepare for them to approach them? So I want you to look at all those. Make a list of who you're going to approach, when are you going to approach them, and what do you need so that you can approach them. And what's today? Today is Wednesday. By Monday, I want you guys to email me Monday your list of stuff. And then what we can do is we can work together. I'm here to help. Okay, you're not on your own. So if there's a couple places where you're nervous or you don't know exactly what to say or your motivation is gone or you need a kick in the butt, that's what I'm here to do. So I want you guys to send me this information so I can help. Okay? And that is it. That's the majority of the AOL stuff. I just really wanted to make sure that you understood the value of the AOL, because I've been finding that some of that wasn't really being communicated to you guys, and that's on us. Because sometimes sometimes leaders think that they're doing the managers a favor by going to the AOLs, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood the AOLs for you to grow your business. But when you are there to grow your business, make sure you're using the best time investment to get the best return. Okay? So now I'm going to come back. And I want to open the floor if you guys have any questions. You guys are okay? So one of the questions that I sometimes get is, you know, who's the person? Okay, so I decide I want to go to Milestones. Who should I talk to at Milestones? And so a great answer to that would be, you're going to want to make anybody that you talk to, you want to make sure that they're a decision maker. Okay, so always ask for a manager or a supervisor. Okay. Awesome. And Charlene, you and I have to book for next week. I'll send you a message right after this. I'm going to give you a couple days to pick from. All right, so if you guys are good, if any other questions come up after this, just let me know, reach out. But let's set goals. Let's see how many AOLs that we can get in the area, because the more activities you're doing, the more leads you're going to get in. The more leads equals more conversion. More conversion equals more sales, which means more money. Okay?
Can I just add one thing?
Absolutely.
What I found when I was starting out in my leadership part of the business is being afraid to talk to people. Yeah. So I found that doing AOLs was my comfort zone. I knew I was allowed to be there. Felt like I was comfortable in my little surroundings. You know, nobody was gonna, I guess, bite, you want to say, or whatever. So I felt very comfortable. So I recommend, if you're just starting to build your team and you're afraid to talk to people, this is a great way to start.
Nice. Did you find sometimes, Sandra, that you said things that were really ridiculous and people would walk away and you'd be like, wow, that did not go well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you learn from that, right?
You do.
And that's the most important. It's a great, safe place to really fumble or to really rock it, because you're going to tell from body language whether you're nailing it or not.
Exactly. And it's a great way to listen to other leaders. You get to hear their pitches, the district manager's pitches, and you're like, it's a way of learning. It's a great way to learn as well.
Nice. Very cool. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
All right, guys. Have a fabulous night. Go Leafs go. Let's keep our fingers crossed for them. There's a lot of sports going on. There's Jays are playing, Raptors are playing tonight, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So have a wonderful evening. Charlene, I'll touch base with you, and Sandra will talk more about the 26th.
Yes, thank you.
All right. See you guys. Thanks.
Bye.
Ciao.